Newcomer, page 136. Weeks had passed since Diana had been in Lanisa's chambers. Day upon aimless day had blended into another one without a word from Lanisa about the shawl, Bertha, or her meeting with the council. There had been plenty of opportunities for Lanisa to confide in Diana, for she had stopped in not only for her usual visits, but for prescriptions for tension headaches. She'd been by the office today with a migraine so severe that Diana gave her injection of Cimarron and a bottle of Cetadine. All you really need is sexual release, Diana said. She made a show of tucking her growing phallus back under her panties, hoping that her action was noticed. It was. She'd had the alterations years ago after discussing it with her niece. They both had believed that it would enhance their love-making, which it had. Please, don't tempt me, came Lanisa's fantasizing reply. Diana smiled and patted her phallus. Changing gears and trying to sound comparable, but knowing it to be true, Lanisa said, "One thrust from your mighty organ would bring swift pleasure." She changed her tone again when she noted that Diana hadn't taken what she'd said as a joke. "We both know that I have to sustain," she said while crossing her legs, "and now I must stay ready for the charge." She had hoped that her referral to charge by his given name had not gone unnoticed. It hadn't. "Terry, is it?" Diana said, rising from her desk. She walked behind the niece and stood behind her. Massaging the Queen's shoulders, she asked, "What does Terry have that I don't?" Diana pushed her hips forward until her penis touched the niece's back. The burning hardness penetrated the niece's spine, reeling her to the first time that she felt Diana inside of her. It transported their love-making to a dimension that she strived to imitate with her sophomore charges. Rarely did she achieve the perfection that she and Diana accomplished from the beginning. To say that she craved Diana in her bed was like saying the lions craved the Christians. "Diana, please," she whimpered through tear-filled eyes, "you have to stop." Diana abruptly ended her seduction and took her seat behind her desk. Burying herself deep within her profession, she told her niece of their next appointment. "As for the Cetadine, take one tablet every 4 hours or as needed. Cold compresses might help also, or hot ones, depending on the relief that you need." The niece composed herself too and rose. When she thanked Diana for the advice and medicine, Diana looked up from her desk. Love's opposite was sprouting where passion had been, their weeds becoming insulation for Diana's heart. Not only had the niece rejected her, she had betrayed their friendship by shutting her off from her personal confidences. This action could not be tolerated, it would not be dismissed, it could not be ignored, and it would not be forgiven. Julie buzzed. The charge bearer was ready and waiting in the examining room. For the third time this week he had been ushered in for treatment of cuts and abrasions. Administering to a abused charge was the last thing that Diana wanted to do. With every swab of the stinging antiseptic, blood rushed to his growing penis, making his breathing quicken. He lay on his back, proudly displaying his organ while Diana placed a bandage on his thigh. "Are there going to be stitches today, Dr. Matrix?" he asked with pathetic hope in his eyes. At that moment the door opened and in bustled the Quanta. At the sight of her, Barry rolled into a fetal position, turning from her view. "You're supposed to wait outside the Quanta," the doctor scolded. "The charge is my possession. I will enter when I please," the Quanta answered. Knowing an argument was futile, the doctor turned to a patient. "Is it really necessary to rough them up like this?" she asked. "Your staff would be richer if you didn't make deviants out of your charges," she admonished, pressing a compress onto a lesion in Barry's buttocks. "On the contrary," La Quanta began, noticing the charge's reaction to the cold pain, "the distaff of the droid has been allowed back to the Rangers, along with that piece," she said, pointing at Barry. I have 9 other charges that will have gone unsold. Many queens from Detroit will be offering fine bids for their asses. And speaking of asses, she said slyly, I believe there's a cut on his perfect butt that needs stitches. The word stitches coming from LaQuanta's mouth brought a glistening drop to the tip of Barry's swollen penis. He went undetected by Diana, but LaQuanta's view was more convenient. Seeing his state, she smiled. Don't waste time with analgesic, LaQuanta said while the doctor prepared the hypo. The charge wants the pain, she said, as Diana inserted a needle. The caustic pain of the needle and LaQuanta's teasing produced the desired effect. As Barry climaxed on the table, Diana turned for the patient. Your fun is over. It's time for you to leave, the doctor demanded. LaQuanta exited the examining room. A roaring laughter filled the hallway, while Diana was left trying to quiet a sobbing charge.